welcome to Coaching Corner with Dan. This Tuesday evening, February 23rd, 2021. It's like the evening news intro. I got Beth to laugh. Yes, I love it. All right. Any wins, stories, anything about strengths over the past few weeks you want to share? Tell me, Beth, how do you like those?
I've just started reading, and I find it very interesting. It kind of gives you a whole new perspective on. I've been watching a lot of webs on the emotional side of oils, and this really ties into that, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I got them right here too. Just the same thing. You know, got the book, got the cards. The cards, if you want to order them now, they're sold out right now.
Oh wow!
Yeah, yeah, they're sold out right now. No more in stock. Well, because I belong to another group, a strengths group, right? It's all strengths all the time. Unleash your strengths, and you know, it was designed. You know, it was a brainchild of Eddie Villa, and I'm wondering if you've ever heard of Eddie Villa. He spoke at leadership last year, and he has a big. I work with him. I'm the head coach there. So part of his mighty network system he has is bringing on people like Melinda Breckheisen, who spoke about it. And so she started talking about her stuff, and you know, she came on 2 or 3 times, and everybody, and everybody bought everything. They're like, swoop in. But she's been doing like a lot of stuff. So back order it. They're great. I think I shared last time about how you got your statement, you've got your how it creates energy, one thing to watch out for, pipes, your anchor, your counterbalance. Now they have updated the counterbalance. Some of the oils are different than the book. They've got some differences just because of, you know, they changed some things. But then the back is, you know, how you rank advance with your strength and what kind of tips you should use with that strength. So it's pretty cool. There's some great resources. Emotional well-being is so powerful. And also, once you understand your strengths and using that oil to complement you, to really help you to understand how you're going to get the best, how to get the best out of that strength is really important.
I had another experience. It kind of shows how the paradigm shift has been in my thinking. I taught a lesson in church this past week about developing Christ-like attributes. And somebody spoke about how they're always working on, they never feel like they can quite measure up to, you know, be there for perfect. And he always worked on his weaknesses. And I'm anxious for an opportunity to talk to him one-on-one about this strength approach. And it just kind of, it was like an aha moment. Oh, well, there's a better way to do that.
Yeah.
It's a better way to do that than to always be beating yourself up about your weaknesses.
It really is. Thank you, Beth. Thank you so much. Anybody else have any good stories, any great wins or challenges or notices or wonders?
You know, I found it interesting, and this was not 2 weeks ago because I wasn't here, but when we were talking about the balcony and the basement, or, you know, the your anchor strength, and then when you're not in that, you go
yeah,
right like to the to the very bottom one. Mm-hmm. And my 34 is consistency, which doesn't surprise me at all. But when I think about, right, when I'm frustrated or pissed off or whatever, that's exactly my go-to, right? It's just like, well, then just F it, right? Like everybody's just gonna we're just gonna do it this way, or everybody's just gonna do, you know, the same thing, which is very much not my norm. So that, I mean, it was just very interesting, because when I look at that, I think, well, consistency is not at all like ever my thing, except when, right, I may be a little frustrated or pissed off or
Yeah.
not quite sure where to go, I think that's definitely probably where I tend to lean.
And putting together, and this is the more, the more exposure that you have to strengths, and the more you're like aware, you're going to begin to recognize the moment that you then went to consistency, and like you will be like, oops, I'm getting to that point, don't go there. And so you won't get there anymore. The more you do it, the more it's like hindsight, do you know what got you there? And then you'll be like, let me think about what was going on. And you kind of rewind the clock and you go back, rewind the tape, and you think, oh, that was it. That was it. So like, what would I do next time? And then thinking to yourself, well, what other strength that's at my top should I be thinking about using so I don't do that again? And then that just becomes practice. It's a practice thing, and it's like I know, Judy, you are learning, which is great, and you're being aware, which is great. That's the first like step, right? It's like a diet, like or a routine, and you just go back when falling into old habits, falling into bad habits. So you become aware more of what to do when those situations arise.
I find myself, when I'm around people and they're doing things that irritate me, I now know why it irritates me. And but I don't have that pop into my head every time, like to be out there and be a consistent person or be a leader or do any of that kind of stuff. It's not sticking in my brain yet.
Why do you think that?
Maybe it's because my top 10 were not what I really wanted them to be, but they were spot on. So maybe I'm just thinking, well, now I've got to think of something different to do. I don't know.
Unpack that. What so what's there that you didn't like? What surprised you about your top 10?
I guess it was a lot more relationship building items. I was really surprised with, because I don't really like people anyway, so they just get on your nerves. I thought I would have like more executing something, maybe.
Okay.
But
So can you do me a favor?
mm-hmm.
Can you count up your top 10? Like, how many relationship building strengths are in your top 10?
4.
Okay. How many executing in your top 10?
2.
Influencing?
3.
And I guess 1 strategic thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4, 3, 2, 1. Which you've got. And like, were you here for the strengths proclamation and that lesson from way back in December?
Mm-hmm.
And that packet we attached there, right? So you love to do everything to connect with the right people and then move them forward, right? Because 3 influencing, right? There was 3 influencing. Yeah. So think about what you do, and like those, in replacing that everything with an action. Like, I love to, whatever it is, in a way that connects with the right people, so that and move them forward.
Okay. Like,
do you move people? Do you make people? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
like working in the NICU, I work with new nurses and I try to give them little things to look out for, what will make their life easier, that kind of stuff.
Okay. So
And sorry, go ahead.
no, you go. No, I cut you off. I'm sorry. I thought you were done.
And you know, years of experience. I do a lot of, I guess you just say I'm teaching. I feel like a teacher. So, but I'm not
Do you have a developer?
Not officially a teacher, you know. Am I a developer?
Is developer high
in
in your top 10?
No.
Curious. Okay. Usually developer is a teaching strength. The mentor, coach, teaching strength is usually developer. So as you are meeting these NICU nurses, are you connecting with them? Are you gaining their trust?
Yes.
Are you providing them with support?
Yes.
So are you connecting with them on a kind of a deeper level? Maybe not a personal relationship level, but on a professional level. Are you connecting with them?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. So there's this connection you're making.
They know they can come to me if they need anything. So
Where's empathy on your list?
6.
Okay, so do you know what empathy does? What empathy creates? Trust. Empathy creates trust amongst the people you're showing empathy to. They're giving you over their emotional state and they trust you. So you're giving them, and trust leads to comfort. You know, you provide. So what are your? I want to play this guessing game, but I don't want to do it all night long. What are your other relationship building strengths in your top 10?
Adaptability, individualization, empathy, and harmony.
See, I was going to say adaptability, but I didn't want to shout out. Adaptability, you're in the NICU, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so that's crazy, isn't it? It's a lot of stress in the NICU, isn't it?
Can be.
Yeah, so adaptability, you are, is your job to mentor the new nurses, so to speak, or you just take it upon yourself? You just do it yourself because you feel
just
for
do
them.
it myself. When I
Okay,
see them
that's your
doing
empathy.
something, or I see them thinking in their brain or whatever, I try to intervene with some wisdom. They can take it or leave it.
Do you watch them and think, I remember when I was them, I'm going to think about what it's like to be them again?
No, not really.
All right. But do you put yourself in their shoes? Like you feel for them because they're new and they need help.
Right. And
Yeah, that's empathy.
when you have somebody who's already done it, I would like their advice before I do it.
Aren't you on night shift
too,
too, Liz?
Hmm?
Are you on night shift?
Yes.
Does that not surprise everyone? Harmony, night shift. I thought that was interesting when you said that.
Night shift.
Do you feel empathy for the babies?
Angels.
Do you feel empathy for the babies?
Absolutely. And the parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think your intervention is more is like indirectly to help the baby. Like, I don't want that new nurse to struggle because the baby and the family will suffer. So like you bring them under your wing really for like, to me, this is my outside observation. I would think like to help the baby and the family.
Right. Exactly. Because I'm more up to date with developmental stuff and all that, that's not in our unit. It's trying to, we're trying to implement it, and they just, nobody really knows what's going on, what they're really doing as far as developmentally and stuff for the infants, because we never ever thought of outcomes. All we thought about was, oh, we kept this person alive, we got them, parents account can feed them, and then we send them off. And then we go and to a conference and you find out, well, this person, you know, doesn't like to have their foot touched because they had so many sticks probably when they were in the neonatal unit, you know? They're sensitive to
Okay.
stuff, and we never think about that kind of stuff. But now we are having more research coming out and backing up.
So here's another strength. I'm going to kind of make a NICU story here. It can be, like you said, a lot of, you feel for the parents. They're probably obviously on edge, nervous, can be kind of chaotic. Are you the calming force in that situation? Do you calm people down?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's your adaptability right there.
I just find knowledge gives them a little bit of strength.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't.
People with sorry, there's a delay here. So people with high adaptability, they are the calm amongst the chaos. Because they can go with the flow, they're very flexible. They also can sense when others need people. Like, it's a flexible strength for people. You're able to provide, because you're flexible amongst the people, you can help to go with the flow and create calm because, hey, I got it under control. Don't worry about it. Trust me. So you're, even though you don't like people, like you make that quote, Liz, you're doing all of the things to show people how much you care about them.
That must be why I'm having a hard time with these. I just never thought of myself as a big caring person, but you know, to put a tag on it, I was like, oh, I do that, don't I?
Uh-huh. And you do a darn good job, I bet you, too, at it.
I think so. I think I do.
Yeah. Aren't these strengths cool? They really are.
They're just kind of shocking.
Who else thinks they're shocking? That getting your strengths are like, whoa, what does this mean to me? I was what? Right? Yeah. Well, what we're doing is we're not creating what strengths do, I'm sorry, they don't rewrite who you are. They just put a name to what you've already been doing. So you've been doing these things. You do them, again, I probably mentioned this before, and I'll say it again. In those top 4 or top 10, there's the 4 E's, okay? When you live in your top 10, you do activities or you perform tasks with ease, with energy, with enthusiasm, and with excellence. Right? And they happen automatically, like not a thought, there's not a hesitation, you just go to them. I notice that person needs this, I'm going to provide this. You know, it happens instinctually. It happens ingrained in you. And what we need to do, what my job is with my, when I coach people, and I'm coaching you guys, is to stop blocking it from happening. Stop saying, no, I shouldn't use that strength. That's not what I should be doing. I should do something else. It's called hesitation. You hesitate when you think your way is wrong. You hesitate when you think, nope, my way isn't the right way. Someone else's way is the right way. I need to do that instead.
No.
So you hesitate, so you think, nope, I can't do that. And you do something else because you don't think, nope, my way is wrong. And this happens a lot. I mean, I think too, there is for a veteran nurse, you've been around and you're like, I don't give a crap what people think, I'm doing it my way. But you've got a lot of new nurses who idolize the veteran nurses. I didn't say older, I said veteran. All right, use my words wisely, okay? But hold that.
Part of life.
Excellence, Kathy, excellence is the 4th E. All right, so when you're a young person or a new into a certain profession or career or whatever it is, you look at the successful people and you try to emulate, imitate, duplicate them. How many of you sell essential oils here? Like sell them and you're like a doTERRA rep or something like that, right? In that way, shape, or form. If you are, you often look at the successful people and go, well, if they're successful, I have to do it their way because that's the only way to be successful. So I'm going to start doing things they do, and I'm going to take this course because they told me to. Then you take a course and you go, that just sucked. I can't do that. They want me to do what? No way. It did not resonate with you at all, right? So what you as veterans, right, as leaders in your fields, you're leaders in your field, whatever field you're in, you are a leader. You have experience. It is really up to us to teach the next generation how they should do things their way. And that, yes, there are tasks that need to be completed, right? Like there's a to-do list, like got to get done list. There's no non-negotiables, but how you get it done is up to you and your strengths. See, strengths don't tell you what you're going to do. Strengths reveal to you how you're going to do them. Strengths don't tell you what to do. They reveal how you're going to do them. And how do you want to be a NICU nurse? Do you want to be Liz, or do you want to be modeling for somebody else because you think they're doing it better?
No, be myself.
And hopefully those young new nurses look to you as a role model because you're giving them the ability to grow, to feel safe, to feel secure, to take risks, to try things in a different way maybe you didn't see without letting them fail. You know, like a mother bird, right? You know when it's time for the baby bird to leave the nest. You're not going to push them out too early. You're not going to dump them, you know, but there's a time when you need to let them fly. So that's a true sign of someone in your position. So I'm glad you brought this up because this is a great segue into my lesson tonight. So we're going to talk about how important your role is as a leader. Whether you like it or not, you're a leader. With experience in any field, guess what you become? You become a leader. Whether you purposely adopt that role or not, whether you volunteer to be a leader, you're showing leadership traits by the way you are aiding and assisting and helping those newer nurses.
Okay, I see that.
How many of you agree with me when I say that to her? That it's leadership qualities right there. Have you ever thought of yourself as a leader?
No. I'm just kind of what you see is what you get kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm not good
I love it.
I'm not good at the sugarcoating I'm not gonna spare your feelings. You need to, if it's something that it's gonna harm you, I'm gonna let you know.
Where's command on your list?
$20.
Wow. I would think it'd be a little higher because command is a direct, it's very direct with how they speak, decisive and direct and very to the point.
That was a surprise
And
on my list.
where's it for you, Beth?
It's 29, and I spent 23 years in the Navy and was a commander.
Oh my gosh.
That's my leadership style, and I was very surprised that I didn't see more of that higher on the list.
Well, I mean, so tell me why you think that. That's a great observation. I love that we have see, here's what's really great about what I do is I get surprised. I learn something every time I do one of these calls. I'm learning something, right? Not every single strength always fits in that little pigeonhole. Like it's that so you're obviously, Beth, have other strengths that you use to command your people.
And I
Make sense?
see that now as we've talked about these other things on my top 10, how they melded into my command style, even though I thought it was, and I've even been told you got the commander voice on again. But I used other traits to command in that way.
Cool. I would love to dig deep. I would love to really sit down with you and talk about all these great things. That'd be great. We'll get there one day, Beth. We'll do a little sit down. It's been a half an hour and I kind of want to get to my lesson to honor your guys' time. And I want to talk to you a little bit about, this is great that Liz brought this up because there's something called strengths-based leadership. And I see Kathy's nodding her head. Have you read the book, Kathy? Or have you heard it? Yeah, I'm reading through it. I'm learning a whole bunch, but there's lots of information. You've read all the books. You're a learner. Oh my gosh. Input.
I listen
give me
to
everything.
audiobooks at 1.2 to 2. That's how I do read so many.
Well, I do. My podcasts are 1.5. I blow through my Gallup podcast. Like, okay, get through it. 45 minutes, not enough time. 1.5.
Yeah. That's my hack.
I hear it. It's always going in. So besides Kathy, has anyone heard of strengths-based leadership? All right. Since you're new to strengths, I didn't think you would have. It wouldn't be something you just pick up off the shelf and go, hey, let me read this, okay? Because why would you do that? But it is a book, and I can, I'll just strength up. I had it up here and I closed the tab by accident. I'll share my screen with you. All right, share it. And here is, so, nope, wrong button, Mr. Schaal, or Dan. My bad. Is it doing it or not? I don't know. Can you see it?
Yep.
You can't see it?
We do see it.
All right.
I see it.
Strengths-based leadership. All right. Great leaders, teams, and why people follow. Okay. Don Clifton wrote this. This is his thing, right? A long time ago. But this is basically from 2008. Been around a while. But it talks about why people, what makes great leaders? What are the characteristics of a leader in a strengths-based world? So it's a great book. I haven't finished it. I should. I'm too busy coaching people to finish it. And my car ride to work is only like literally 10 minutes. So by the time I get into the car, I'm like there already. So it's like I don't even like to listen. It's like I get like, whatever. So I don't even try listening to cars on or books on tape or Audible or whatever, because I can't do it. But strengths-based leadership from Gallup. And so you're investing your time. One, you invested money into getting the report. Now you've been investing your Tuesday nights learning about your strengths. And if you're in doTERRA, you are taking a leadership role because you have a business and you wish to grow your business through doTERRA. If it's nursing that you're in, just your primary thing here is, you're most likely leaders in some way, shape, or form, whether you're a nurse manager or you've got another role on your floor or your unit, or you're just being an awesome veteran nurse like Liz is, who's helping people because she cares, because she's a people person at heart, even though she doesn't know it. All right. So
Don't let anybody hear that.
Yeah, we don't want your secret to get out, do we?
Nope.
All right. So there are 4. Use my whiteboard tonight. Boom. All right. There are 4 components of a strengths-based leader. All right. The first one is trust. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about I'm going to tell you all 4. Then we're going to go back and think of traits, qualities of someone who exhibits these things, right? So trust is one of them. The second is compassion. Oops. Compassion. Third one is stability. Oops. I thought I was typing. Stability. And the fourth one is, anybody have a guess what the fourth one might be? Kathy, don't talk. She can't do anything. I don't want you to ruining it. Don't spoil the party. No guesses? That's okay. That's okay.
Nope.
Hope.
Oh.
Hope, not nope, hope. So you've got trust, compassion, stability, and hope. Take a second to think about those 4 components. When you think about leaders, whether a leader that you looked up to when you were young, even someone you look up to now as a leader, think about someone who you want to be and want to become, whether it's in your doTERRA upline or downline, whether it's someone on your floor or a mentor you had a long time ago, or a teacher you had way back when, or whatever the role is. What makes up someone who has trust? What's that look like? What do you think? What are some descriptors of trust?
Do what they say they're going to do.
Okay. Uh-huh.
Repetitive examples.
They're straightforward with you, just honest.
So,
Honest, yeah.
Honest. They're honest.
Like Liz.
Yeah.
I can appreciate somebody who's straightforward.
Think about this. Do they give and earn respect?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
They have respect. They give respect and they earn respect. Something else too. They're people of their words. They have high what? It's an I word. They have scruples, but it's also a nice, good I word. I'm doing my teaching word here.
Integrity.
There you go.
Integrity.
Perfect. Right?
Mm-hmm.
They do what they say. They have integrity. They provide good examples. They're honest. They have respect. Are you someone who gets their trust as a leader? Do these describe you as a leader? So I want you to become a strengths-based leader. So the whole thing is, I want you to be this person. This is who you have to become. If you want to be a great leader in your strengths, if you want to do that, you've got to be someone who they can trust. Think about an example in your, I'm gonna go back to I want to stop sharing and have a conversation. And I want you to think about people in your lives, maybe in a previous, unit you were on, or a course you were in, or a class, or a boss, or whoever it would be. They're supposed to be your leader. Has there ever been a time when you didn't have trust in them? They weren't honest. They weren't. Tell me about that, Liz.
Yeah, I mean, that just pisses me off.
Yeah, you can say that, right?
They're in charge and they're supposed to do, this and this. And if they don't, I'm like, how do they still have a job?
Yeah. Do you follow them, or do you sort of begrudgingly, like, you gotta get pulled, like you gotta get pushed to follow them? You're not gonna follow them willingly, are you?
I guess it depends on what it is that I'm following.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to lose my job.
But yeah, if you're forced, if you have to maintain your job, you're gonna follow them. But if it's an option, would you be like, I'm gonna go down with that person?
No.
Yeah, most likely no. You'll choose a different path, right? Anyone else have any trust stories or issues or concerns with previous stories of people they didn't trust? Or give me something they did trust. Is there someone you trusted, like, and how it made you feel? Either way. Chatty bunch tonight. Chatty bunch tonight. And it's okay if you don't want to chat. I'm totally cool with that. Okay. Going to the next one here, right? The next. Yeah, tell me. So talk about that. Share with that.
Well, he's honest and irritating and has photographic memory, and it's like having a walking Google. He was a great nurse. So
yeah, you look up to him.
I do.
Look up to him, but like you admire his work ethic.
Yes.
Yeah. So our second one, hold on, where'd it go? There it is. Compassion. What's some traits of someone who has compassion?
Right now, I'm just thinking of the nuns I grew up with.
A moment to listen.
Ah, okay.
Listener, yeah.
Listener, I love it. Hold on. Oop, no, wrong one. It's not hope, it's compassion. They're good listeners. Are they caring?
Yeah.
That be something they are? Yeah.
Mhm.
There's another word out here.
Understanding.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, understanding's good.
Empathetic.
That's the one I was looking for too. Right. And think about someone who's a listener, they're caring, they're understanding, empathetic. They sort of create something, right? it's like is it like a friendship maybe? Whether it's true friendship, but they're like an ally of some sort, like they're, there's some sort of like, there's kindness involved usually.
I think of
Because you can be,
an advocate too for their.
hold on, yeah, well, yeah, I'll use advocate there, that's good. What happened? There we go. Now, how about sharing some compassion stories? Any compassion stories, or either they have compassion or lack of compassion? Is it gonna be, this is gonna talk all night long tonight? This is only Liz's night to talk, right?
And I don't even like to talk.
She doesn't like people or talking. And look, we can't shut her up, and she loves people, we discovered.
Yeah. I can think of people that I've seen that have no compassion. And it really makes me angry.
Hmm.
So
Were they your leader, your boss, or your nurse manager, or something
yeah,
of the
actually
sort?
they were a manager. And it's, how do you get into that role and not care about people?
Mm.
I think back on some of my nurse managers and commanding officers, and in the military, there are lots of rules. But sometimes somebody has a situation that, I don't want to say you bend the rules, but you have to look at their personal situation, and that's compassion to me.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is what
That's
usually
right.
happens, but you're a single parent and you need to go take care of your child. And so, yeah, you've got half day off.
Individualized.
Individualized, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good too. Well, we're going to go back over strengths in a second, so that's a good one. Hold on to that one there. We're going to go back over it. So we're doing characteristics first. We're going to do strengths second. Okay. So now we've got stability. What are some traits of someone who displays stability?
Consistent.
Mm. Yeah.
Reliable.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they can seem very grounded.
Okay. Is someone who's stable gonna abandon you when the going gets tough? Right? So they're reliable, but think about, they provide what? What do they provide for you?
Support.
Yeah, there you go. You know they're not going to go anywhere, so you really can depend on them, right? How about some security?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're secure. You know they're going to be there, so it's like a security blanket. And how about knowing that you got a boss or a leader who is stable and does it bring you some peace, maybe? Inner peace?
Oh yeah, sure.
So like, I had a principal who was a wonderful man when I first started teaching. And all right, hold on, where's the stop share button? And he was a wonderful man, but he was old school. You know, I was a 23-year-old. He was probably in his 60s at the time. And so, I'm that whippersnapper up and comer, but he had been around a long time, probably 40 years in education. And he learned how to be a principal and a teacher when he was young from someone who was teaching even before that. So like generationally speaking, it was my way or the highway kind of approach. That's how we do things. And because he was the boss, it was his personality too, we had no clue where we stood. each day? Like, would he come to work and be stomping through and looking for every little thing you did wrong just to bark at you and to nitpick? Or would he come to work each day being, everything's fine, woo, you know? And I remember we would walk through the halls my first couple years, and people would say, watch, his name was Dick. And they'd say, you know, get out of Dick's way today. Get out of his way, avoid Dick, you know? So you'd have to make sure if you saw him, you didn't engage. Almost like you didn't want to engage with him, because it was like, you just stay out of his way, right? And try to avoid all contact. Is that any way to like work? Is that a positive work environment?
Absolutely not.
Oh, it was so stressful. There was no peace, right? He was so unstable. He wasn't a rock. Like, when it come to certain things, he would. Like, there were some things he would, like, when push came to shove, he would defend you as the teacher, and he would, you know. But that's not fair to be living in a job where you didn't know where you stood, like how it was going to be each day. Was he going to come down on you for no reason at all, or was it going to be like the best thing in the world? So it was very unstable. Now, obviously, it's a small thing, you know, but have you been in a job where you had a boss that was or wasn't stable, and how did it make you feel? Or a mentor? I mean, I can think of Beth being in the military. There probably were some guys out there that, like, I mean, if there, I'm not in the military, so I don't want to speak, you know, but knowing from people who were, it definitely, there are some strategies behind the reasoning, how they say and do things. But have you had a commander or seen a commander who just would be like off the wall for no reason? There was no rationale behind why they did what they did. There was no lesson being learned from their toughness. They just were being like a jerk about it just because they were power tripping. Like, you can give a lesson, you can be stern with somebody, but make sure there's a lesson behind why you were stern. What's the reason because you chose to discipline someone this way? Not just, I'm going to like make you do this nasty thing and then laugh about it with no reason behind it. No lesson learned. That's not stability.
So how do you use your strengths to deal with people like that?
How do you use your strengths? Well, for someone like you, you've got harmony, right? Was harmony high for you?
3.
3. Adaptability was high for you. So you're going to have to, in your own, see, some people think that we kind of forget, use these strengths on yourself. Think about how you, with this person who is maybe just unjustly unfairly acting a certain way, like they don't have any right to act a certain way, create an environment that you can expect the unexpected. You know, you almost go into a protective state that your adaptability protects you from getting too deeply involved. Like, your empathy or your harmony might be like, but I want to fix the situation. But if you step out of line and try to rationalize sometimes with those people, it just makes it worse, right? To question them or to like seek kind of like why you're doing these things. So your adaptability just has to be flexible. You have to go with the flow. You know, people with high discipline. High discipline is structure and rigidity and routine, right? It's not like I want to discipline you and like, you know, give you spankings. It's like I live by structure and routine and that kind of thing. Those people probably would not do well from somebody being like back and forth all the time. Like, wait, I expected this, but now it's this. You know, your adaptability is something that's going to be good. Your flexibility is a great strength there. Now, I'd have to actually see your report and go deeper with you to figure that. But like off the top of my head, that would be a great strength with someone who's not stable, who kind of wavers back and forth with that stuff. Someone with high belief would have a hard time with this. Someone with high belief would have a hard time with someone who's not a stable leader. If there's no stability, they're going to ask, why is this happening? Why are you changing your mind? Why are you doing this? Why? High analytical. Why? You know, connectedness. I see the big picture. Futuristic. There's got to be a reason behind it somewhere. We'll figure it out as we go. Strategic. Well, this plan doesn't work. I'll try another plan. You know, there's some ways you can manage that. That's a great question, Liz. You talk too much. All right. So now we've got hope. Now, I believe that hope, is what leaders, like, it's like almost like you've got to be trustworthy. You've got to display compassion and stability to offer hope. Someone who offers hope shows us what? They give us what?
Optimism.
Yeah.
Optimism. Great. Hope is a what? Where do you see hope? Is hope a past, present, or future? I saw about the future. So what else is about the future? Yeah.
Encouragement.
Oh, good. And that could be in other ones too. That could be in compassion as well. But I hope here for that. So when you're in high school, who helps you plan your future? What position, what person, what role, what's that person called?
Guidance counselor.
So someone with hope provides guidance.
Guidance.
All right. Gives you direction. In some cases, faith. Faith that you're doing the right thing. All right. So you've got, so we've got these really cool traits of a strengths-based leader. And you can do all, it doesn't matter what your strength is. Can you provide these? And you can. This book breaks down all the strengths and shows you how your strength can be used for trust, how your strength can be used for compassion, how your strength can be used for stability and for hope. And I mean, we could sit here all night long and dissect everybody. That would take forever, right? That'd be kind of annoying, right? But I want you to do right now, I want you to think of one strength that you have. One strength that you have. Maybe you're curious as to how you can use it in one of those 4 ways. How can I use my strength in compassion or trust or stability or hope? Maybe it's just you want validation, or maybe you're just totally confused and want to learn something new today. And you could just shout it out. We've only got 5 of us tonight, so we've got about a half an hour left, so we can take our time and not really rush through this. You're all going to get a turn. Is there a strength in your top 10 that you're like, how can I use this to gain trust or compassion or stability or hope? I'm confused. Go ahead, Beth. You ready to go?
I am. My number 1 strength is consistency. And I see that that can apply and particularly trust and stability, because I'm very routine, predictable sometimes to a fault. But that creates trust and stability.
Yeah.
And I did that in my work situations, and they knew what to expect from me.
Right. Do you have a question about one? Do you want to see? Do you want to have a question? Do you have a question about how that's used in the other places? in compassion or hope? Which one is more important to you?
Compassion.
Okay. All right. So compassion, using consistency and compassion, you allow, as a leader using this strength, the other person will know how to react in the relationship. It will put them at ease and comfort, because isn't compassion comfort? So think about, you've made me comfortable. Your comfort, your consistency in your routine provides you with comfort and calm and care.
Well, that would probably be why everybody would just tell me stuff that I didn't ask to hear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very good listener, and people's stuff just falls out of their mouth.
Yeah, I mean, people know what to expect from you. See, you've created stable rules for people. You've created routine for people. You've created a specific, like, everyone knows what to expect from you, and that provides comfort. And it becomes ease of conversation. I know what I'm gonna get from Beth. So I know that if Beth treats somebody this way, she's gonna treat me the same exact way. So if you're somebody, Beth, you probably are someone who has compassion all around anyway. And so they said, well, watch how Beth treated, Liz this way and Michelle this way. So I bet you if I asked her, she would treat me the same way. So you become a comfortable person to talk to. Thanks for sharing. Yay. Woo, Beth. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Thank you, Stephanie.
So my top 5 are all relationship building. And
Okay.
so I have no, like, I get those 4 components of a strength leader, I get those. But intellection is my number 6. So I'm curious to know how I can use that.
Is there one of the 4 that you're like more interested in the others, or just does it matter which one?
Actually, could I go on to number 6, which is intellection?
Yeah. But which trust, compassion, stability, or hope?
I see. Oh.
Yeah.
Let's do trust.
Oh, okay. All right. So do you know what people with intellection do? Like, how do they use their intellection?
Personally, I just get caught in my head and then I hesitate to share stuff, share openly easily.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So usually people with high intellection, they're in deep thought and reflection and meditation and really looking back upon all the information they've gained, all the relationships they've had, all the conversations, all the stuff, right? And it's a lot of times they use it to like really ruminate through everything, letting things settle and see where it all ends up. So someone with high intellection can provide trust with people, because typically they've had, when they speak and share, they've had a lot of time to really think about what they're going to say. So it's not like they're not shooting from the hip. So it's almost like when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Like, so when Stephanie does speak, we got to trust what she's saying, because she has put a lot of time and effort into formulating these thoughts.
Okay.
And what if that doesn't happen?
What if people don't trust you?
Yeah. And
that's on them.
you.
If people don't want to trust you, it's on them. Don't change for them. You continue to give your thought. If they ask you for an opinion, or they ask you what you think and you give it to them and they don't accept it, that's on them. That's because see, here's what happens then, Michelle, right? In my opinion, with strengths, is that this person did not listen to the advice you gave them. So now not you, Michelle, but people, they automatically go to, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? I got to do something different because it didn't work. So I have to change my approach to appease this person. And then you do something that's not authentic. You do something that might not be in your top strengths, and you start trying different things. And then you get frustrated because those other things aren't where you're supposed to be doing. And you start going to things that are in your 28th, 29th, 30th, and you aren't really good at them. They're not something you're really, you're not successful. And then you get frustrated, and it leads to this, ugh. So when you
Yeah, I
stick
just
to the
wanna
things
leave
you're
them.
good at,
I just want to go off with you.
and you know what? And if they're not ready to accept your word and trust you, that's on them. You're providing an honest answer to the question they asked based on your experience and your expertise. If they can't accept that, you have to say, okay. That's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Right? It is easier said than done, but it's on them. We, in the population, right? This is research done by Gallup and statements there. We start thinking something's wrong with us. Something's wrong with me. What did I do wrong? How can I fix it? You can't fix it. It's who you are. You do you, and then that's their problem. Great question, Michelle, and thank you, Stephanie. See, you got a little. Stephanie probably thought intellectual, whatever, but she went, "Oh yeah, I'm doing." Are you doing that, Stephanie? Do you provide honest, thoughtful responses to people's questions and when they ask for advice?
I do, but it's taken me a long time to step into gaining perspective and kind of pausing before I speak. So,
what are some of your 5 strengths that are relationship building in the top 5? Do you have a trust strength there?
I, like Liz,
empathy in there.
Initially, I responded kind of like taken aback by mine. I mean, I am very much, I easily attract people or, want to create groups or whatever. Anyways, harmony, restorative, empathy, includer, connectedness.
So
the problem is that the strengths that I wanted are strategic, and I don't have any of those.
No, you don't need that.
But I'm learning to embrace what I have.
So I want you to think about your intellection, okay? Because you built these connections with people, and they trust you, they're going to really hold on to what you say. When you give your thoughtful responses or your opinions or your advice, it's going to come from a place of like, yes, because she cares. I trust what she says because she's been trustworthy based on your other strengths. Your intellection then becomes trustworthy because you care about them. You care about how you respond to them, and they're going to pick up on that. Remember, strengths don't live in a vacuum. Strengths are all connected. So even though it's just intellection, it's intellection with others that kind of feed into that.
Right.
Use it. Use your connections to build that and give your thoughtful opinions. It's awesome. Who's next? Chatterbox over there? Liz? I'm gonna call her Chatterbox from now. I'm sorry. I give nicknames to my students, just like I had one girl who never talked. I called her like Peep because she never made a peep all year long, and she loved it. Like, do you ever make a peep over there? You never talk. So I used to call her Peep, and she loved it. She like, call me Peep. I'm like, okay. So anyway, Liz, you want to share? Or Michelle or Judy? Anybody? Liz first.
No, Judy. We haven't heard from Judy.
Get on there, Judy. What do you want, bud? Come on, Judy. Get in here.
All right. Well, my top 5 were also all in relationship building. So I'm going to choose number 6 because I'm not totally maximizer.
Ooh, I love maximizer. People don't appreciate maximizer enough.
I don't know that I really get it.
All right. So a brief description of maximizer is someone who sees people's talents and pushes them to be better. Right? You like to work with people to get the best out of them. Right? You don't settle for anything less. You like excellence is important to you. Right? And you like to mold people into improving them. Right? You don't want to do it with, well, it depends on your other strengths. I don't know. You have developer in your top 5?
Developer. That's number 7.
Okay, 7. So top 10. So someone with maximizer developer wants to do it together. You want to make them improve together, right? Like, oh gosh, I see this growth in you. Let's do it together and kill it. Like, so you connect with them. So they, again, build the trust. Connect is a trust thing, right? Then you can give them the advice and the coaching and the support and so they then will, boom, you'll do it together with them. So maximizer makes something that's good, great, something great, superb. Awesome with that part. So which one of the 4 components do you want to share or talk about?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe hope.
Ooh, okay. Thankfully we talked about hope. So someone with maximizer, they recognize what people do well. And they identify the talent in others and how to move them even greater. Like, I see greatness in you, but I can help make it even greater. We all love to hear what we're good at, don't we? Like, I love when someone says you're good at something. Like, you know, I just love it. And it makes me feel better. So I like to be told by my leader, especially, like, hey, you're doing a great job. You know, let's work together. I can make it even, I can see what's great about you, and we can do this even better together. Really? Wow, you identify what's great in me? You want to help me? Boom. Now I want to do, I'll like run through a wall for you. I'll run through a wall for you. Let's do this. Yes.
Interesting.
Well, and have you ever been one, looking back, who has purposefully taken something that was good like that with a person and worked to make it better to improve their performance? You identified their special traits and we can even better than that. Let's work on this. How can we be better at this particular task or skill or whatever it was?
Okay.
I think that's kind of what I do now.
Yeah. What do you do?
I work with senior adults in low-income housing that want to make healthy lifestyle and changes and choices.
Okay. And do you help them make better choices?
Yeah. Well, I kind of help them. Yeah. I mean, kind of figure, it's kind of like coaching, right? So I help them figure out what they need to do, like not telling them what to do, but what they need to do, because we all innately know to live healthier, make better choices with what they have.
And then when you talk to them, you say, hey, I noticed you did this really well, but have you thought about this? This would be even better. You're doing a great job, but have you tried this? Ooh, I didn't think about that. Thank you. Yes. That's a maximizer. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Michelle or Liz?
Go, Michelle.
I want to know about
I hear someone's
connectedness.
clock in the background. Tick, tick.
Probably mine.
Aha.
Sorry.
Okay.
Connectedness with
It's okay.
hope.
It's just. Okay. So having people see the connections, understand the connections, understand that there are things out there that they haven't seen yet. Right? There are connections that haven't been made yet, and that many times people want to give up. They want to stop because they don't see the big picture, and they stumble, over the, they make mountains out of molehills, that expression. And your job as a connectedness is to explain to them, hey, you just don't know what's out there yet. You don't know what this connection did, what this particular moment did, like planting seeds. I'll use a doTERRA analogy about how, like, you don't know how many drops it takes for someone to actually buy the oils or join the business or do whatever, right? You don't know how many times you just say something to somebody before it comes to fruition. So maybe this person's stumbling upon their actions. They're not seeing results right away. They're not seeing hey, let's think big picture. Think big picture, right? These connections are going to come in handy. You don't know what's going to happen down the road. So if you think big picture, don't get stuck on the small. Don't sweat the small stuff. You've got a bigger purpose. There's a bigger purpose out there for you. And that could give them hope that, yeah, I'm not stuck. There are some bigger things out there for me.
I
There
kind
are
of
these
use
different
that,
connections.
I think I use that
Think
in
so?
my nursing with teaching younger ones. You've got to go through this to get to the other side.
Yeah. There's links. There's always different connections and bridges between, what they're doing and who they're working with and what the purpose is behind it. And sometimes they don't see it, and you have to give them that vision to see all how it all comes together. It's a big aha. Oh, yes, you're right. Oh, good. I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
All right, Liz. Can't get out of this one. You're it. Last one.
All right. How about significance with trust?
Okay. So a lot of times significance comes off as arrogance, cockiness, and we like almost like a mistrust of someone who does that. Like, look at me, I'm great, follow me, I'm awesome, and if someone with high significance uses it the wrong way, it could come off kind of shady, can it? Like, what are they, what's their ulterior motive? They can't really be like that. Like, right? So if you want to use it the right way, be candid. Share with honesty what motivates you. Why are you doing this? If you're honest with the person about this is the reason why I'm doing this, this is the motivation behind my actions. I'm not trying to bait and switch you. I'm not trying to snake oil sail you, so to speak.
Yeah.
They're going to trust you better. Now, I was getting some glitches there. I hope you guys heard all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, because some of you were frozen. I hope I wasn't frozen too. Yeah. Like, yeah, what's your motivation for this big goal? What, like, yeah, I want to do this and this and this. Why? If you tell me, okay, I trust you. Cool. I mean, I've talked to Kathy a bunch, and Kathy has big dreams for certain things, right? She would I be like, why? What's your motivation behind this? Is it to get more, or are you to help me? Are you trying to help me? Is it for you or for me? Because a lot of people don't trust significance. They think it's all about them. They go, nah, they're just using me to get to the top. They're using me to get something greater. But if they're honest, you can then the other person can make the decision whether to follow you or not. And that honesty is really powerful. The candidness. Kathy, you want in on this, Kathy? Or are you all good?
I'm okay. I mean, it's getting towards the top of the hour. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have time, I can offer one.
I have, it's 9:50. We have 10 official minutes left. It doesn't take very long. I'd love to help you out here.
I think for me, sometimes I struggle with like how to provide stability when I am so adaptable and I have all these ideas. Like I shift quickly from one thing to the next. And I think sometimes that, or my concern is that doesn't offer stability to others.
All right. So it is a great contradiction, right? Stability and flexibility. Like, how does that work together, right?
Yeah.
Well, what happens though, people, so remember, stability is security, right? Stability is security. And stability, or I'm sorry, adaptability are those people who are the calm amongst the chaos. When everything's going bonkers, people with high adaptability are like, hey, I got it under control. Here we go. Like, I'm able to I can comfort people when there's change. Because when things are all in flux, new nurse manager, new program, new software, new protocols, new whoever, new administration, like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Hey, I got it under control. I got you. And you bring the calm, the security that they can depend on you to manage the situation. They can look to you. They're going to look to you to be the one who's, okay, yeah, she's a rock. She doesn't get flustered by all the crazy. She just goes with the flow. That's how you create stability.
Okay. I could believe that.
This is all in the, I believe it. You're the calm one, aren't you? Aren't you the calm one when things go crazy? God, it's all under control. We got it. No big deal. We got it. It's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. For the most part, sure.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So before we wrap it up, you got any questions? Any comments, concerns, issues, problems before we get out of here?
No, I liked it a lot. Like just being able to take one of the strengths and like try to find the disconnect between them. I thought I learned a lot about the strengths by doing that tonight.
Yeah, it's true.
What is really important, and I can't stress this enough, it really is to, like, I think what Stephanie said, but she didn't like her strengths. She wanted other ones, right? Like, you weren't happy with those strengths. Well, they're your strengths. You got to own them, right? You got to take it, you got to own it, and think about, like, and I use this analogy for a reason, and I think Gallup does too. Strengths are your DNA of how you do things. That's why the DNA logo is like on the report, like a little DNA looking strand kind of thing, right? Because it's what makes who you are. You can't pick your DNA, can you? Like, you can't go back and genetically alter who you are. Like, literally, you can't. Would you, if you could, would you like change your hair color, your eye color, your body type, your skin complexion, or something about you? Would you want to go rework that, or do you want to appreciate the beauty that you are? The beauty, that's the uniqueness and the beauty that you have in who you are. That's your strengths. You can't go back and alter what's in there. You gotta, like, say, yeah, this is who I am. I'm a 5'9" guy who's got a very average physical height and whatever it is. Nothing stands out physically, athletically. If I go back and rewire it, yeah, I'd be 6'4", 220, left-handed pitcher, making $20 million a year pitching for the Phillies. I can't do that. It's not going to happen, right? because baseball, you don't get hurt as much playing baseball. Like you might hurt your arm, but you're not gonna get concussions too much. That's football, I don't that stuff. So you think about those things, but your strengths are who you are, and you have to it's like learn to live with what you were given, and to be the most out of it, and to appreciate it. And when you are you're all stepping into a leadership role. Yeah, again, we talked before about your experience on your floors and your units, or if you're building a doTERRA business or essential oil business, if it, whichever business it is, you're a leader, whether you like it or not. If you're an upline for somebody, guess what you are? You're a leader. So becoming the best leader you can is paramount, but then becoming the best leader you can with your strengths makes it even more effective. So this book is really powerful if you're committed to being a leader in your organization, in your team, in your business, on your floor. Even if you just want to be the best mentor, because like Liz is not an official leader by pay or by title, but she takes that role on herself because it's who she is. This is a great book to help you navigate through your strengths, how to do things through your strengths like this.
Okay.
And I will always close with this. These guys are all free, and we don't really dig deep. And it's going to run out in a couple weeks. Unfortunately, my schedule is getting busy again. I've got some paid gigs coming up down the road. So this is going to be ending soon. They didn't re-up my contract. Then we'll talk later. But it's really important if you want to really dig deep and have personalized one-on-one, just me, you, and your strengths. You can find me on Mighty Network. Message me. We'll set something up. I would love to be your coach. I loved our connections here. I love nurses. I'm married to a rock star nurse who has done a million things. And I appreciate all the greatness that you are, because there's a certain place in heaven for nurses. Like, seriously.
Right next to teachers.
No, nurses, no. Well, after this year, yes. After this year, yes. Right. This is my eyeballs are like, oh my God. But so have yourselves a great couple weeks. I will see you on March 9th. March 9th. Are you kidding me? Like, it's March 1st next Monday. Like, this is it. February's over in a week.
It's crazy.
And it'll be 50 tomorrow here. Happy 50? Oh my gosh, it's so cold. Yeah, it's 50. It's like t-shirt weather and flip-flop weather up here now. Woo!
There you go.
Right, so you guys have a wonderful week. It is so good to all see your faces. I love all of you. I'm glad you're all safe. So I want to stop my recording.